Tonight on the news, as Nigeria commemorates World Poetry Day, a need for more recognition for work of poetry emphasized. Well, good evening and thank you for joining us on the news at 7 right here on NTA Lagos Channel 10. We'll also meet tonight is my sign language interpreter, Babatunde Abiodun. Well, as Nigeria joins the rest of the world in celebrating World Poetry Day, some educationists have described poetry as one of the best genre of literature, but most underrated. Well, details in our subsequent bulletins. Well, President Muhammadu Buhari has formally expressed Nigeria's appreciation to media practitioners in the country for enhancing the transparency and accountability of the nation's electoral process through professional conduct of the 2019 elections. Receiving in audience the leadership of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, NUJ, the president, however, made a case for support and cooperation with his administration towards bringing sustainable end to the devastating consequences of fake news phenomenon. NTA's correspondent Adamu Sambo has the details.
As important pillars of every society, President Muhammadu Buhari said their news reporting responsibility is what drives public opinion and facilitates decision-making for good governance and effective service delivery.
This means you have a moral and professional obligation to present the facts as they are. I seek your support in ensuring that you report the truth. You must not allow yourselves to be influenced by individuals with divisive motives. I agree that journalists face significant threats in executing their mandates. Please be assured that the security agencies and all instruments will continue to do their very best to protect journalists, especially those operating in hostile environments.
The president, however, expressed worry over the way and manner the untrained participants in the social media platforms present stories that are neither true nor factual to millions, thereby creating an alternate reality in their minds.
I am sure you will all agree that the biggest threat to the sustainability and credibility of your profession is the uncontrolled and unregulated news platforms operating in the cyberspace. Innocent lives have been lost or destroyed due to this fake news phenomena. I therefore seek your cooperation to bring a sustainable end to this menace.
While wishing Nigerians a peaceful supplementary elections, President Buhari promised to remain committed to a safe and secure nation, inclusive and diversified economy, as well as a governance system that is free of corrupt practices as he looks forward to the next 4 years. NUJ President Christopher Isiguzo had congratulated the president for his re-election through the ballot box, which he attributed to his record of integrity and genuine commitment to national development. He commended the Nigerian leader for the giant strides recorded in the fight against terrorism and insurgency, as well as corruption, which he described as systemic and endemic, saying the Nigerian media will continue to play a vanguard role in Nigeria's quest for good governance and corrupt-free society.
Your Excellency, sir, although it is said that the media and government cannot be institutional partners, since one is expected to hold the other accountable. However, we are all stakeholders in the Nigerian project. We shall therefore, as a duty, continue to support the fight against corruption and the quest for peace and security, good governance, and the rule of law. Corruption leads to the depletion of national wealth, and all hands must indeed be on deck to ensure the success of this fight.
President Muhammadu Buhari also granted audience to the governor of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki, and Abubakar Sani Bello of Niger State behind closed doors.
If you understand Nigerian politics, I am the only APC governor in the South, South, and Southeast. So it means that I must keep a very close relationship with my president.
Niger State should be rest assured that we're committed to providing dividends of democracy. We're committed to completing projects we have started. In addition to new ones we want to embark on that will be of benefit to the general public. So there's still a long way to go. There's a lot of work to be done. We'll get on it as soon as possible. More messages of felicitations are still pouring into the presidential villa as celebrations continue across Nigeria over the recent endorsement of the Next Level movement by the nation's majority. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has scheduled the 30th of April for the conduct of the supplementary elections in Rivers State, while governorship supplementary elections will not hold this Saturday in Bauchi and Adamawa State following court litigations. Well, this was during a press briefing by INEC in Abuja. NTA's correspondent May Ogidi reports.
The Commission encourages all registered voters in the areas where elections will be conducted to come out and cast their ballots.
18 states will have the feel of election activities again. Though some are for state assembly seats with just few polling units, others National Assembly, but the major ones are the governorship supplementary polls in Benue, Sokoto, Kano and Plateau states on Saturday, March 23rd. Rivers State will have its turn on the 13th of April 2019, while Adamawa and Tafawa Balewa local government area of Bauchi State will not take part in the governorship supplementary elections due to pending court litigations.
It should, however, be noted that the litigation and consequential order only affect the collation of results for the governorship election in Tafawa Balewa local government area. Consequently, the supplementary elections will proceed as scheduled on Saturday, the 23rd day of March 2019, in the other 15 local government areas of Bauchi State, as well as in the Krifi State constituency supplementary elections in Krifi local government area. Similarly, the Adamawa State High Court issued an injunction restraining the Commission from proceeding with the supplementary elections following the application by the Movement for the Restoration and Defense of Democracy, MRDD, a registered political party which did not take part in the main election. Notwithstanding the legal action over the supplementary governorship election, elections we hold in Nasarawa Binyeri State constituency in Mayobelwa local government area of Adamawa State, where the election had to be countermanded following the death of a candidate before the polls, as well as in the Obagaya State constituency in Hong local government area.
Even in the face of all these, governors whose elections have been concluded will go home with a certificate of return between the 27th and 29th of March 2019, while those whose elections are to be concluded in a later date will have their certificates of return on the 19th of April 2019. So, all eyes on March 23rd, for now, with a common prayer for these inconclusive elections to be concluded. Mie Ogidi, NTA News.
You are watching the news at 7 right here on NTA Lagos Channel 10. At this juncture, we go for a break when the news at 7 returns. World marks International Day of Happiness. And in sports, Delta State government raises prices of Super Eagles match tickets. Well, that's in a moment. Join us again.
Hate speech is not a joke. It incites genocide and crimes against humanity. Most of Africa's civil wars are caused by hate speech from one tribe against another. We don't want it here. The Nigerian government stands firm against hate speech.
I was distressed to notice that some of the comments, especially in the social media, have crossed our national red lines by daring to question our collective existence as a nation. This is a step too far.
One nation bound in freedom, peace and unity.
Nigeria, one nation, one people.
This is a public service announcement brought to you by NTA.
Welcome back. You are watching the news at 7 right here on NTA Lagos Channel 10. Well, as Nigeria joins the rest of the world to mark the International Day of Happiness, the need to remain happy for the general well-being of any individual has been emphasized. Well, our NTA's correspondent, Adaobi Obiechina, brings us details.
March 20th annually is a day set aside by the United Nations to celebrate the International Day of Happiness. This was due to the fact that people are consumed by the worries of life, that they forget the value of being happy. Happiness can be said to be an inner feeling of satisfaction and accomplishment in an individual's life. Happiness can be relative, as what makes one happy might not make the other happy. A cross-section of Lagos residents gave their opinion on happiness.
Okay, happiness is when I see people smile, when I make people happy, and another definition of happiness is when I set deliverables, like KPIs, what I want to do, and I see myself crushing those goals. It makes me feel happy.
I'm alive is enough to be happy. Honestly, I don't want to tell you any story, but the fact that I don't have control over life and I'm alive, I am happy.
You must have a positive attitude about life. Everything, don't look at the circumstances, look at what God can do for you. Situations will change even if it wasn't good at the time.
The International Day of Happiness coincides with the International Day for Oral Health. Speakers say a good oral hygiene promotes happiness.
The very first thing you can do is to brush twice daily. It's the simplest thing and the easiest thing that you can do. Brush 2 times a day for 2 minutes. See your dentist twice in a year so that you can get your teeth checked, and if there are any problems, they can be addressed on time.
Do you mean less of refined carbohydrates like sweets, chocolates? When you want to eat, you know, don't eat snacks between meals. There's so many rules I could tell you on and on. So it's good for you to visit your dentist. At least if you haven't visited your dentist before, visit your dentist.
International Day for Happiness encourages everyone to always strive for happiness. In Lagos, Adobe Obiechina, NTA News.
A look now at sports. Prices of tickets for Super Eagles' upcoming games against Seychelles and Egypt have been increased by the Delta State government. NTA sports correspondent Benga Oloyede spoke with some sport lovers on this development. His report.
The Commissioner for Information, Delta State, Patrick Uka, who announced the decision in Asaba yesterday, said the new rates were introduced to enhance crowd management. Some football fans who believe that Super Eagles will win tomorrow match urged the government of Delta State to consider the crowd of fans that will throng the stadium to watch the matches to reduce the prices of tickets.
I so much believe in the fact that Nigeria is going to do well. Like people have been agitating for the fact that Genetra should make use of the home base so that we can see those the materials we have on ground apart from the professionals. And he has invited a lot of them. He watched Nigerian League, and from there you could be able to get 2 or 3 or 4. I think he invited up to 10 of home bases, and I believe tomorrow match against Seychelles, Nigeria is going to do well.
For the government to do such, because since it's the country playing, it should even be a free gate fee for the people to come and watch and cheer the national team. Shouldn't be that outrageous amount for people in order to reduce the capacity of people coming to cheer up the national team.
I believe Nigeria is going to have a good match tomorrow against the Seychelles. If you could see the preparation right from the onset from our coach, Jenot Denabi, he has transformed the team in an high form. But I must give a kudos to the government of Delta State. It was a good development. That is to show that we want Nigerian citizens to all get to the stadium and cheer the Super Eagles up so that we can pick our 3 maximum points.
Super Eagles will also take on the Pharaohs of Egypt in a friendly encounter at the same venue next week Tuesday.
Super Eagles, who are already through to Egypt 2019, will host Seychelles tomorrow in Asaba. In Lagos, Benga Oloyede, NTA News.
And sports wraps up the news this evening on your NTA Lagos Channel 10. Well, do not go away, as my colleague Benga Oloide is coming up next with the Yoruba translation of the news, or from my sign language interpreter Babatunde Abiodu. I am Israel Ife Robo. Have for yourself a lovely evening.